Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, DSP here, and welcome back. This is part 2 of Ask the King, episode 75 for March 28th, 2019. And if you did not see part 1 and you're watching this on demand on YouTube, part 1 should be live on this very channel. So please go check that out first. I am basically wondering if I should continue doing Ask the King, and I really want your feedback because it seems like the questions and everything are dwindling. In fact, I'll be very honest with everyone. For the rest of this show, typically this show runs like 3 hours. I've got one more question from the forums and like 5 or 6 questions I took off Twitter, and then we're pretty much done. So I'm going to be fielding questions from the stream chat. But it seems to me like this show really, I answer your questions on a daily basis. So there really aren't that many questions left. There's no more burning questions you guys have. You get your answers daily. Or as someone Ace actually said earlier on in the show, with a cheer, I believe he said this on pre-stream, he actually said, people have been asking you questions for 9 years. At this point, we know everything, or we could go back and watch an old show. It's very hard to think of an original question that we would want to bring up or ask, you know? And I understand that. So, all right, guys, let's go ahead and let us continue. So, from Melancholy Panda, they ask, would you ever consider playing things other than video games for an IRL stream? I think your style would work really well with the interactive story element of D&D or Pathfinder, but any tabletop games would be really fun to see. Something like Tabletop Simulator with fans could work really well. Actually, I think you're right, in reality. Board games are pretty fun to play, especially if you're playing with various people and you have tricky strategies and stuff. I think like me playing a board game like the Game of Life or Monopoly, or a game that I played back when I was a kid, could actually be pretty entertaining. Especially if you have like 4 people playing and everyone's talking or whatever. The thing is, like, how is that possible? I've never even seen an opportunity. Like, I love the game of Monopoly. Is there even a video game version of it with multiplayer? You see what I mean? Like, it doesn't really exist. Now, I know you're saying, we'll play the real tabletop thing. Well, where am I going to go to find people to play a tabletop version of these games with me here in Washington State? You know what I mean? Like, that probably wouldn't happen. Now, you're saying tabletop games like D&D and stuff, yeah, absolutely, but I don't know those games. I've never played them. I don't know anything about them. In reality, the only game that would really be considered a tabletop game that I played at length was Risk, and in the 2000s, I had a few buddies who would go over to their house, and I would play Risk with them overnight for like hours and hours and hours on end. And it was fun as shit, but that was a bygone era, you know? Like, I don't think it's realistic for me to be doing doing anything like that. If there was a video game version where I could do online co-op with people like, you know, Brian and Kekin and some of my moderators, and people come in and we play board games and stuff like that together online, that would be amazing. But really, you don't see that kind of stuff, you know? Like, I'll be honest, when I first started getting into mobile gaming on my phone, the first games I wanted was like Monopoly and stuff. And they're terrible. There's versions of it on here. They're garbage. They're broken. They don't work right. There's no online multiplayer component. So it blows my mind that, like, this doesn't exist. Like, this would probably be popular, but I don't know. Maybe they think there's no market for it. I have no idea. For me, I would love that stuff, okay? Gamergenics has resubscribed for 20 months. Thank you, Gamergenics, for the resub. Cody Carls cheers says, if Ask the King goes away, does that mean the King Hate Vlogs is dead? I think it's your last running vlog show going. It's the only thing I put on the channel. You know, at one point, the King of Hate Vlogs was a very thriving and prominent place. Why? Because all of my content outside of that was gameplay. You would go to DSP Gaming to see all my gameplay videos, but you wouldn't ever in those videos hear me talking about off topics that weren't involved with the gameplay. It was all hyper-focused on the gameplay. So we go to my vlogging channel to, number 1, hear my gaming schedule, right? Number 2, to hear me talk about off topics that had nothing to do with video games, right? Number 3, to see ongoing series that had nothing to do with games, like DSP Tries It and stuff like that. Over the years, that's kind of just, it's gone by the wayside. Why? YouTube. 1,000% because of YouTube. Because if those things were profitable, and if I didn't have to switch primarily to be a full-time streamer on Twitch to pay the bills, I would still have time to do them, I would still be making money doing them, and I would care about them. But the bottom line is this. YouTube ruined their business single-handedly through automation, destroyed everything on YouTube. Ad revenue is abysmal. When I do those shows, I can't make any money. This show right now, Ask the King, I make nothing. I make like $1 on it. I'm not even kidding. I'll probably make $1 putting one of these videos up on the King of Hate vlogs at this point. It's not done for money. It's done because people still want to see it. But you're right. Like, all the things that used to happen on the King of Hate vlogs were from a bygone era when those got release day unboxing. There's no other things to unbox anymore. GSP tries it. I stopped eating fast food, and it's not profitable anymore. I actually spend more money on the food than what I make on the video. The weekend preview, there's no point to doing anymore because every day I put out a schedule on Twitter, and I do a pre-stream where I explain my schedule. So it's just a third schedule. There's no reason to do it, and a lot of the times it ends up being outdated anyway. Do you see what I mean? You're right. Ask the King is pretty much the only thing left that I upload to the channel. And you're right. If this show ends, that's it. It'll just be an archive channel or a backup channel. If God forbid anything ever goes wrong with DSP Gaming or whatever, I still have somewhere I can upload and let people know what the hell's going on. So that's the reality of it, folks. That's what's going on. And, you know, just being very honest, you know, I don't foresee it changing. I don't see at this point. At one point, I was hoping YouTube would like see the light and fix their business. It's done. It's buried itself so far up its own ass that only the top guys can ever get popular ever again. You have to act like a child and do videos for children to be popular on YouTube, and that's not me. And I'm sorry, you know, it sucks that, yes, this might be the end of vlogging for me on YouTube, but at the same time, you could still get that interactivity with me whenever you want on a daily stream, or watch the pre-stream to hear it. Or, like I said, during interactive streams, like when I'm playing Black Ops 4 Blackout, or when I'm playing Minecraft or whatever, there's ample opportunity for that kind of interaction. That's why I have the variety of streams that I do. That's why you notice I don't just do action-intensive games like From Software games or fighting games. I mix that with other chill stuff so we can still have that interactivity daily. Okay? Straight Cash Homie did a 1,000-bit cheer. Thank you, Straight Cash Homie. You're the top cheer of the day. And he says, Cat's been very good for you. If you're in a good place, if you want to wind down with Ask the King, could you do more retrospective streams or more co-op playthroughs with Brian and Kekken? Maybe a retro co-op possible. Yeah, I mean, true. If I were to end Ask the King, then yeah, maybe I would do every other month. I do a retrospective stream where we just have a chill stream day where we talk and we go back and we reminisce about the old times and stuff like that. Yeah, I could definitely see that. Absolutely, I could definitely see that happening and being something fun and popular. True. Yes. Yeah, definitely thumbs up. In fact, I just did 2 retrospective streams back to back, month to month. I'm definitely taking April off from it. Maybe we'll bring one back in May. I guess we'll see. Okay, so let's go ahead and get Straight Cash Homie up as the top cheerer of the day. Thank you, Straight Cash Homie. I mean, even as you guys can see, just this show in general, you know, as a show that people watch on Twitch, profitability-wise has waned too. You know, when I used to do Ask the King, people would come out in droves to watch because it was the only chance you would get for me to answer questions. And, wow, Phil answered my question. And then they would, you know, cheer, sub, or tip in celebration. And now it's kind of like just like people are saying, oh, the questions on this show suck. Well, I didn't ask the questions. You see what I mean? And that's what I mean. Like, maybe this show really has, at this point, run its logical end, you know? All right, so anyway. All right. So now we're on to the Twitter questions, everybody. We start off with My Name is Zway, who asks, when dealing with heartbreak or depression, what was your inspiration to keep going? I know your moniker is to use the hate and fuel it for positive energy, but what did you do in the first place to recognize these positives? See, for me, I'm the kind of person that, like, I really am 100% the kind of person that when I get told something, you must do that, you must abide by this, you know, you did that wrong, do it this way, do it right. You must justify to me that is the case and show me the light and say, this is why. Okay, and if you show me the light and I understand, okay, but there's been many, many times in my life, you're not good enough, you'll never succeed, you're doing stuff wrong, you're gonna screw up, you're bad, and blah, blah, blah. And when that happens, I'm the kind of person that I don't take that and put it into a ball and hold it inside and just get sad about it or upset about it and get depressed. I use that to fuel me. I get angry. I do. I legitimately get angry when that kind of stuff happens. And then I basically say, okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take all that shit that I just ate, that I heard for so long, and I'm going to use that to fuel myself to now be successful or get past what they told me I couldn't do. Let me tell you guys, with competitive Street Fighter, this is one of the things in my life. People used to tell me, you're good, but you'll never be great. You're never going to win a tournament. You're never going to be top. You're never going to do any of that. You're not good enough. And the truth of the matter was, when I was younger, I didn't have a lot of time to play. Like maybe once or twice a week, I would have time to go play with my friends and practice. And then I would go to a tournament and I would do okay, but then I would lose. People were like, haha, see, you said you're so good online, and then you come here and you fail. I'm like, well, I lost because I saw three different things here in person in the tournament that I never even come up against ever back in Connecticut where I play, and I couldn't adapt on the fly. If I had more time to travel and more time to practice and more of that, I would have done better. But basically, it was always people kind of saying, haha, you'll never do well. And for years and years, I kind of used that as my motivation, that finally in the mid-2000s, when I was independent enough to be able to do what I wanted, and finally I could travel whenever I wanted, that I traveled enough and saw enough and played enough to get the experience under my belt, to place at EVO, to win multiple tournaments, and to become a known person in the fighting game community, despite the fact there were still people who, with tournament results and everything, would say, you still aren't good, here's an excuse why that win doesn't count, here's an excuse why this placing doesn't count, I always use that as a way to motivate me. Now, you're right. I could have been the kind of person that I just took that. I said, I'll never win. No matter, even when I win, I lose. Because even when I win, I still don't get mainstream recognition because people still hate on me. But I kind of didn't. Instead, I turned that into more motivation to just keep going. And that's how I was able, for about a 3-year span, I was one of the top players in the country in Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. No matter what version was out there, whether it was PS1 or Xbox 360 or PS2 or whatever version of the game you want to talk about, I was tops at those games for about 3+ years because of that motivation that I gave myself, okay? Today, in the modern era, when you're talking about my YouTube and now my Twitch streaming presence, are you kidding me? You know how many people out there are against me? You know how many people have made it a meme and a virally popular thing to hate on DSP and make fun of DSP? But I'm still here. I didn't fucking go anywhere, right? I'm still here. I still have a following. People still tell me on a daily basis that what I do is worthwhile. So all those years that people told me you're doing it wrong and this and that and you suck and you should just go away, and and then people just literally making shit up about me, insulting me, I could have given up, but instead, again, I use that. I say, if I give up, if today I quit, and I say, this is it, I can't take it anymore. Oh, by the way, I forgot to update total tips, didn't I? Oh, no, I did. Never mind. And I said, I'd throw it in the towel. I can't do it anymore. It's too much harassment. It's too much stress or whatever. I honestly feel that basically number one, am proving the haters right. And number two, I'm letting down all those people who over these years have come out and supported me in droves, in so much support and strength and everything. You know what I mean? Like, I use the positives that I have as motivation from all the negative assholes who say I can't succeed to still be here. Because I would never want to say, well, if you guys finally got me off the internet, you got me to quit, you fucked with me so hard that I'm out of here, I can't take it anymore. I don't ever want to get to that point. I want it to be that the day when I decide I don't want to do gameplay streaming and stuff like this anymore, it's my active decision for various intelligent reasons. It's not I throw in the towel because there's been so much negativity and harassment thrown my way that I can't take it anymore. But I seriously feel like this whole journey, this over 10-year journey, has been such a crazy thing, and that I need to keep going. I need to, despite all odds, despite financial issues, despite trolling and actual legitimate harassment against me on a daily basis, I need to just keep fighting and keep going because it inspires people. People have legitimately told me over the years I inspire them because of all the shit that I've been through. I can get through the shit that I've been through. They can get through the shit that they're going through. Okay? So that's what I need to do. That's just what I need to do. I need to focus and keep the course, and what I got to do, I got to keep going, and that's kind of what I use as my motivation. My name is Zway, like, despite the fact that there's all these negatives, I still try to say there's still tons of positives. I never would have met Kat and been with Kat if it weren't for the shit that I've been through over the years. You know, there's a lot of positive things that come out of all the negatives, so. All right, Dope Soap Cheered, he says, did you know Ninja was a pro Halo player before Fortnite? He actually averaged thousands of viewers as well. I knew that he had a following before Fortnite, absolutely, but I knew that he never really broke out. He never became the popular guy. He was just known as one of those guys that does that kind of stuff. And then when Fortnite came out, boom, he exploded. So, Forearm Joker, 14, I don't even know what the hell that means. Timmy Dollars says, will you stream Cooking with the King? Well, why don't I stream Cooking with the King? I've already explained a million times I don't do Cooking with the King, so no. Okay, let's continue. All right, the next question is from This Heat Inside. They ask, what would it take for you to try and complete a professional... Let's try that again. What would it take for you to try and compete at a professional level again? Obviously, he's talking about Street Fighter. Quite frankly, it would take two factors. Number one, a game that I actually like. And I'm serious, like Street Fighter 5, if it was a game that I absolutely loved and I felt was a competitive game up to snuff with games that I played in the past and I wanted to keep playing it at a competitive level, I might have sought to do it. But the recent Street Fighter games that have come out just aren't good enough for me to dedicate the amount of time and dedication and money and everything that it would take for me to get to a pro level. I'm just being honest here. I don't like them that much. Street Fighter 4 was a great game, but still, it just didn't have that meh that would push me toward, you know, keep working hard. If there was a game that played like Super Turbo or had those elements and I liked it and it was a good competitive game that everyone was hyped for and everything, I would probably go crazy playing it. But I haven't seen that game yet. I haven't. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm still a big fan of fighting games, but I haven't got that. Not a one single release since I've done this on YouTube have given me that competitive bug to try to play it at a high level again. Okay? The only two games really, the Marvel vs. Capcom series, Marvel vs. Capcom 1 and 2, not 3. I thought 3 was a broken mess. 1 and 2 and Super Turbo are the games that really give me that itch and that bug to want to play at a competitive level again. Okay? Now, the other factor is, it would have to be something that's actually realistic. And what I mean by that is to be at a pro level at a fighting game, you have to play the shit out of it. Now, Phil plays it once a week or twice a week, and now he's expected to be at a pro level. I'd be playing that shit, like, every day. Like, it would be my daytime streams at one game, and my night stream every night is Street Fighter. You see what I mean? It would have to be that way. And I know that would turn off a huge portion of my audience. I would have to find a way to inspire a viewer base to come in and watch me play fighting games non-stop ad nauseum to get good enough at them, because that's how you do it. That's literally what you have to sacrifice in order to get good. And I would be throwing away a lot. You know, over these 10 years, I've been a content creator. Over 2 years, I've been a full-time streamer. I've changed up everything to be variety, Mr. Variety. I don't just play one kind of game. I play one kind of game on my first stream, totally different game on my second stream. So that way, I'm never only being a one-trick pony or doing one thing. If I was going to be a pro fighting game player, I very much would have to kind of become a one-trick pony again. Okay? And I don't really want to do that. I've been there and done that for most of my life when I was a teenager, all the way through when I was like, 10 years ago. I was all Street Fighter, Street Fighter, Street Fighter, Street Fighter. And now that I've re-immersed myself in gaming culture, I like that better. I like the mainstream gaming culture, the variety of games and things. I enjoy that more than when I was just in the hardcore tunnel vision of competitive Street Fighter. So you're talking a unique combination of factors. A game that I like so much that I actually love it and want to play it at a high level, plus balancing that in with the fact that I also would want to sacrifice all this stuff that I've built for 10 years in order to do it. Realistically, would it actually happen? I don't know, man. Dope Soap cheered. He says, you said he wouldn't exist if not for Fortnite. I know you don't like... All right, Dope Soap, stop. I'm just going to stop you right here. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. I didn't say he wouldn't exist at all without Fortnite. I said he was a guy who streamed and was struggling trying to make it, and then because of Fortnite, that's why he blew up. And that's 1,000,000% true. Go ahead and try to spin it however you want to be a negative jerk. That's not what I fucking said. All right. Joe Blows Flamoni. Tip me $1 and says I should redo Smart Guys with Derek. No, I'm not going to do that. And Battle Duck 9000 just subbed for 30 months. Yes, 30 months, ladies and gentlemen. And he says, just finished watching the Walking Dead gameplay. He's talking about the conclusion of the Walking Dead that I did a couple nights ago. He says, damn, the lack of manpower really showed. You could see that they did a quick filler for parts of the story just to get the game done and out. Yes, they did. I was incredibly disappointed with how they ended Clementine's story. It was very poorly written, and even though I'm happy that it had an ending, the ending was incredibly disappointing. All right, continuing on. The Real Morrow asks, how do you think the backlash from Fallout 76 will affect future Bethesda releases? I would guess that's the end of the cash grabs from Bethesda, and I mean it. Like, that was a real attempt by Bethesda to do 100% El Cheapo cash grab, okay? They knew they did not put significant time and effort into that game. The game was not only just using assets from Fallout 4 to make a game that wasn't even really a game, but also they knew that game was buggy as shit at launch. They even said, this game is buggy as shit. Please work with us to make it better. Like, well, why am I going to buy it? You just admitted your game is basically unfinished and buggy, and you expect me to buy it? It was 100% a cash grab. And I think what's going to happen now is after that humongous failure, the negative press they got and everything, Bethesda will go back to the drawing board and says, all right, we tried it. It didn't work. We're just going to have to work on putting out these quality games from now on because we can't do cash grabs. They don't work. But I could be wrong. You know, you could have Fallout 4 Battle Royal coming next year. Who knows? Bagel Goose did 100-bit cheers. If you could have any sponsor, what would you want? I honestly have no idea. Like, for the stuff that I do, maybe a fun gaming controller, because I've been complaining recently about response time in gaming controllers. So maybe one of the pro-level gaming controllers that has better response time. I'd love to try one and use it in gameplay videos and stuff. Definitely that could be some kind of a drink or snack or something for when I'm gaming. Could be good, I guess. Probably that's about it. The only thing I can say is like a gaming chair. I don't really believe in them that much. I have one now, and it's not very good, quite frankly. I don't think it's any better than any other office chair. You know, I'm trying to think what other stuff could I possibly sponsor, you know? So, I don't know. Kill Bill 216 Charity says, watching your Assassin's Creed Odyssey playthrough on part 33, loving it. Did you play the DLC? No, I did not play any DLCs for Odyssey, but I did love that game. Magic Player tipped me $1 and says, two-part question. What did you think of Donkey Kong? How often do you think of Donkey Kong? Oh, all the time, constantly. No. I thought Donkey Kong Country 1 and 2 were great games. Very challenging, very grueling, and very much old school. Thank God you could do save states, but I did enjoy them. Okay, and yes, I may be playing Donkey Kong Country 3 in the near future. All right, what I'd like to do now is give some shout-outs to the patrons. The patrons who in the past few months pledged either $10 or more. So thanks very much to the following people. Peanut Brother, Uncommon Sense, Villix, Fallen 1570, Big Tone 995, Infinite 55, Casey Wood, Planet Jeff, Thomas McDonald, Sean Given, Last Rambo 341, QPZMWN, David Denmark, Relique, Stormforce Gamer, Richie 7, Jacob Hendricks, Show Krayos, Steven Slater 007, Michael Denealt, Ghost, and Hank Duma. Thank you guys and gals very much. All right. Only a few more questions to go, guys, and then I guess I'll open up the stream chat for the end of the show. So, next question is from Fantastic Max. He says, when was the point at which you became the King of Hate? It was the early 2000s, all right, and I was trying to make a name for myself in the fighting game community. It was the very first time when basically the fighting game community kind of became global because of Shoryuken.com was a very hotbed at that time, when Shoryuken.com forums was like the place to go discuss fighting games and post up about your local tournament and stuff like that. Shame they don't even exist anymore. But yeah, like it was the thing, the hot thing. And at that time, I had made my name DSP or Darkside Phil, and I talked a ton of shit to everyone. I was one of the most prominent shit talkers in the entire community. And so, that being said, a lot of people didn't like me. It was funny though, because at tournaments, I would always do good. I wouldn't win, but I would always do pretty good, and people actually did acknowledge, those who actually played against me would acknowledge that I did actually have some skill, okay? But yeah, people were being, pretty nasty to me at that time and didn't like me. And I basically said I would use that hate to motivate me to do success, okay? And it was funny because at the time, there was a website that was made by only a small inclusive group of West Coast gamers, and they called themselves the Top Players, and they made this website topplayers.com. Now just think about this. They went out of their way, not even like the top tournament players, there's people who were maybe like 10 people on the West Coast who thought they were some of the best players in the country. So they made a website called topplayers.com that had their names and profiles and stuff of shit that they did, and they would try to post up videos and stuff. Keep in mind, in the early 2000s, there was no YouTube. So it was very primitive, and all websites looked like shit or whatever. So I went out there and I said, oh, you guys think you're the top players, huh? Well, guess what? I made a parody website called tophaters.com. And what this website did was completely rip them a new asshole and made fun. It was a complete parody spin of what they were doing. And then I added in articles about cosplay and stuff that were really ridiculous and over the top. And it ended up becoming way more popular than the Top Players website. Like, I was getting tons of hits and views. Everyone was checking out my site. And it was hilarious because now they hated my guts that I would do that, right? But that was it. Like, at that time, I basically became the guy in the community who would be a very outspoken guy about anything. If someone was being an asshole, I would call them out. If Shoryuken.com did something underhanded at EVO, I would call them out. And so I became the big mouth of the community at the time. And some people loved me for it, and a lot of people hated me for it. So like I said, I would take that hate that all of you have, and I will spin it into motivation so that when I actually go to a tournament and I play, I can actually win. So yes, at one point I acted like a troll, absolutely. At one point I acted like a troll when I was much younger. I mean, early 20s was when I was like that. And then about the mid-20s, I wised up. I said, I don't want to be like that anymore. I would rather stop being the jerk who insults people and calls out people and creates drama, and instead be the guy who toughs out through the drama and perseveres and becomes kind of a figurehead. And I did for a while. Around the mid-2000s, I was a figurehead in the Street Fighter community on the East Coast. A lot of people trusted me to be an authority on games like Super Turbo. I ran major tournaments like the East Coast Championships, as well as many other smaller tournaments in the New York, Connecticut, New Jersey area, and became well known as a well-respected figure on the East Coast for about 3-4 years there. Okay. Continuing on, Master Saru says, let's talk books. What are some of your favorite books that you've read throughout your life? Have you read books like The Outsiders and Lord of the Flies? Oh yeah, I absolutely did. Read a lot of the classic books that you would probably know of, like the Lord of the Flies, Huck Finn and Tom Sawyer, all those classic books that you have to read in school. I've read. But for me, the books that I really liked when I was a kid, I liked books from a guy named Brian Jacques, who made a series of books called the Redwall series. And the Redwall series was about animals that were basically humans. They were anthropomorphic animals, and they lived in Britain, and they had like an abbey where they all had different roles. There was bakers, there were soldiers who defended, there was people in government, and then there were castles and stuff. It was crazy. It was like it was like Game of Thrones with animals, because animals would die and be brutally murdered and stuff. It was pretty crazy. So I really liked that series when I was a kid. Then when I started getting older, I liked Michael Crichton books a lot. Then I like Dan Brown. I have some of his stuff. And of course, George R.R. Martin. I started reading Game of Thrones. But I haven't read anything in a million years, so. Okay. And the last real question that we have here is from... How the hell do you say that name? Utzedi Butzi? Anyway, they ask, Nioh or Sekiro, your opinion. For me, I like the combat engine of Nioh way more than Sekiro. Here's why. Nioh is based on standard combat from a game. Your goal is to hit the enemy enough till they die. Okay? That's the goal in Nioh. Now, some of the enemies are incredibly difficult. Some enemies are very hard to hit. You have to parry them, or counterattack, or dodge first and then hit. There's various weapon styles in Nioh that you can try. I preferred the spear, but apparently there's like 5-6 various really good weapon styles that you can use during the game and different ways to play the game. Sekiro really isn't even a combat game. It's parry everything. Like, literally see the attacks the enemies have and parry everything. So, some enemies that I've now fighting, these bosses in particular, you cannot legitimately hit them. They block everything. You just need to parry every move they do, then force them to block a little bit, then parry every move they do again, until finally the death blow appears, boink. You know, that's, to me, that's weird. That's not even, like, that's not traditional combat for video games. You know, like, to me, that's just fucking weird. I don't know. Nioh, I think, is a much more, even though a lot of people say Nioh is so difficult, I didn't even think it was that difficult. And I thought that it was more along the lines of Bloodborne and Dark Souls. And I liked the game a hell of a lot. I did. Also, I hate to say it, Nioh is way more responsive than Sekiro. Nioh, when someone's coming at you, you do parry, it works. It immediately comes out. When you press the button, your move comes out. In Sekiro, there's still delay, that From Software startup, when you press the button and when something actually happens. So it's actually hard when you're doing a boss fight for the first time to learn the timing to parry, because your parries are all staggered anyway. So it's very annoying in that regard. I'm not saying Sekiro is a bad game at all. The more I'm playing it, it's growing on me and I'm learning the combat engine. I'm just saying I like traditional combat engines way more than the one in Sekiro. Okay? Let's see here. Super Dragon tipped $1. He says, if you need donations, what you could do is have people suggest games to play on your forums, then have the donation incentives where the winners force you to play the games, since everyone wants to see you play different games. I'm not even exactly sure what you mean. I would never do pay to play, meaning, oh, if someone pays a certain amount of money, people will play that game. However, I have done things like patron pledge drives and sub drives, where if we hit a certain goal, now we do an event and people can now nominate and do things for said event. You see what I mean? So I really don't know what you mean, but thanks for the $1 tip. Forearm Jelker tipped another $1. Says, why did you money match mix up and why was it so free? Yeah, that was one of the times in my life that I really felt I was much better than I guess I was, and I got destroyed, and absolutely utterly destroyed, and lost all my money. Nothing else to say about that. That's exactly what happened. I was a big mouth. I challenged people, and I failed miserably and lost a ton of money. Pretty much like an idiot. Okay. BattleDuck 9000 tipped me $2. Says, you made a website by today's standards that immediately grants you the perk to boast yourself as a web developer. Yeah, and I actually made websites various times over the years. It wasn't just topplayers.com. I had actually made a few more as well, but nothing too notable or anything like that. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. Like, we're done with questions. So what I would say is right now what I'm going to do is open up the stream. Obviously, people who choose Sober Tip will get priority, but people can just ask general questions in the stream chat, and I will answer them, and that's going to basically, I'll do it, for a while until it dies out. And that's it for Ask the King, and that's why I posed the question earlier in the show. Should I even do Ask the King anymore? Because I don't even have enough to fill a 2-hour show anymore. I didn't get enough questions to really work through it and do anything interesting. So, okay. Adrenaline Dragon says, why do retro games not do as well as new games on streams? I mean, that's a no-brainer. People always want the new hotness. They want the new hype thing. I want to see how that new game is. I want to see how Phil reacts to that new game. Retro games, if someone really likes me as a player and really likes the stuff that I've done over the years and wants to see a game that I played from my childhood, maybe that I love, or play a retro game that I never played before but see how I react to it, then those things get popularity. But for the most part, a lot of the mainstream audience are just about the new. They don't care about the past. They don't care about where we came from. They only care about where we're going. And so, I hate to say it, but yeah, sadly, when I play a lot of retro games, for example, playing Super Mario RPG. Here's a game from I played when I was a youngster. I love this game. I beat it multiple times in the past. I'm playing it and enjoying it, relearning it and reliving it now for a live audience is incredibly fun. And we can't even get 300 viewers to the stream, and the streams are pretty much dead. You see what I mean? That's how it is. That's always how it's been. When I used to do the same thing on YouTube, I'd do a retro game on YouTube. Same thing. It just seems like the viewers on the internet are fickle. They want the new hotness. And that's why I try to balance the new hotness stuff with, older stuff. So that way, at the very least, I can still play the stuff that I enjoy from the past and not have to worry about, oh my god, now no one's going to attend my stream at all. You know what I mean? Okay, Frogs Playing Golf tipped me, or excuse me, cheered. Said, does Kat think you say any words weird, or is it just the stream chat? I don't think so. She's never said a word to me about me sounding weird to her. I guess that would be a question I have to ask her, but she never brought it up. That Anonymous cheered. He said, what hope is there for Dean Ambrose if he does leave WWE coming up here after WrestleMania? I would say, I think that he has a good chance to go and do whatever he wants. First of all, he's probably made a ton of money, he's been one of the top guys in the company for years now. Plus, his wife is a commentator. So between the two of them, they've probably amassed quite a sum of money. He might just take years off and do nothing, right? He might pull a CM Punk and never wrestle again. Or maybe he will go to a AEW or do some indie stuff if he so chooses. I really don't care. I wish the guy good luck. I really do. Miguelo just says, they just announced Borderlands 3. I am aware of that. And he says, am I interested in playing it? Yes, I am. If and when we get concrete information on when it's released, I would consider it and doing co-op with it. Okay? Let's see here. Dope Soap Cheer, says, do you think you'll ever have enough time to do more social things like making friends and attending events? I have no idea. Right now, I can tell you I don't have time for it at all. I am here every day that I'm not off and spending a day with Kat. I'm here working, streaming. I have to. I have to do that. I have to bust my ass that much to pay the bills. So if things ever turn around, either if I get my debt down or if somehow I start making more money, yeah, I'd have more flexibility. I'll be honest. The days back when I could go to conventions and meet with the fans and stuff were awesome. But I was making money hand over fist back then, and I could afford to take a big chunk of days off to go to a convention or whatever. I can't do that anymore. So that's reality, okay? Hodor Targ cheered. He says, why don't you do something like crowdfunding for DSP Tries It? Make sure you get money beforehand and make some profit on it. I literally grew up watching these OG shows, and I hate to see them go away. Well, the other thing is, Hodor Targ, that a lot of the reason the shows have gone away is, number one, yes, because YouTube completely screwed them up, the profitability of them. But number two, because I don't do, like, for example, DSP Tries It, okay? I don't eat fast food almost ever. Maybe 1 to 2 times a month now, and when I do, usually I'm eating more healthy fast food, like I said earlier on the show, Baja Fresh and stuff like that. Very rarely do I go and get a fast food burger. Very rarely do I head out and grab Taco Bell or anything like that. You know what I mean? That's what I used to do at least once a week to do DSP Tries It. And that's how I'm losing weight. That's how I'm getting healthier. Is by cutting that crap out of my lifestyle. I'm getting older now. You know, I'm about to be 37 years old in a little over a week, and I can't be doing that kind of shit anymore. You know what I mean? So, you know, okay, could I crowd fund and say, if I raise $500, I will do a series of DSP Tries It videos? Yes, but there's no point to it. I think the problem is, guys, that you have to understand that because of what happened on YouTube and the way that everything has changed, that literally it's the end of that era. And it ended 2 years ago. In reality, it went in 2017 is when I made my changes to be a full-time streamer. It's just been a slow transition now to really go full-time streamer. And I think a lot of people who've been around for a while and watch this stuff long-term, they have they're resistant to change. They don't like that things change. It's life, guys. Things change all the time in life. It's just like you guys said. Do you miss back in the day when you used to have friends who you hung out with all the time and play Street Fighter? Do I miss it every once in a while? Yes. But do I ever want to go back there? No. I like where I am right now with my life. I love it. I love living with Kat and everything that we have together. I wouldn't want to go back to just being some guy playing Street Fighter. You know what I mean? Maybe you feel that way, that you would like to do that because maybe you're in a different life situation than I'm in. But for me, I love where I am and what I'm doing. Seriously, I do. But things change in life and mature and get better or worse. For me, my opinion, things are much better in my life now. I don't want to be eating fast food every week to do DSP Tries It anymore. You know, I don't. I can't do release day unboxing anymore. I'm not going to go buy physical copies of games to unbox them and have nothing in them and have nothing to talk about. These are just things that change and you know, that's life. okay? And you either accept it or you don't. I've accepted it. And I hate to say it, my viewership still, there's people like you, Hodar Tark, who are like holding on to the thread of hope that DSP tries it will come back if I crowdfund it because it's all about money. It's not. Times change. I am a different person in 2019 than I was in 2017, than I was in 2015, than I was in 2013, than I was when I started on YouTube. I'm changing constantly, and this is a positive change for me, in my opinion. Okay? Okay. Someone named Hisoka tipped me $6.73 to become the top tipper for today. Thank you very much. I'm not going to factor in the change in the total tips for the day, but let me get you up here. So that's going to be $32 in tips. Thank you. All right. And Hisoka asked the following. Are you going to do a playthrough of Phantasy Star in the future? Possibly. Some people have been saying to me, Phil, did you ever play Phantasy Star? Because you've been playing like older RPGs. You just played Final Fantasy IV, and then you played Super Mario RPG. Have you ever played Phantasy Star? My answer is no, I never did, because that was on Genesis, and really I was an SNES guy, so I missed out on a lot of those kind of RPGs that were all on the Genesis. Would I ever consider playing it? Yes, but would people actually come out to watch? They haven't I'll be honest, they haven't for Final Fantasy IV and Super Mario RPG. I want to say thanks to those who do actually show up and are supportive during those streams, but they haven't been super popular or great. So I don't know if I would ever do Phantasy Star. I have no idea. I would definitely consider it. Okay. All right. Anyone else have any questions before we adjourn today? I'm opening up to the stream chat now because it seems like the cheering, subbing, and tipping have died down here. Fluttershy says Phantasy Star 4 is the best one overall. Gary Shiggles just cheered. He says, what do you think of making a patron tier for co-op buddies where one stream a week you play co-op games with your patrons? I think that's a more attractive offer than what you have available now. It's a way to play co-op games with no worries to trolls. Yeah, but the problem is this. What games do we play? Like right now, realistically, what games would I play with patrons? Anthem? Oops, the game sucks. No one bought it. No one's playing it. You see what I mean? Like, if there were like a large amount of really awesome co-op games that the patrons want to play with me, then yeah, maybe that would be something I do. What co-op games are there that I'm even interested in? You see what I mean? And the other thing you got to factor in is I'm a full-time streamer, so I need to make sure that when I am streaming, it's entertaining to the viewers. There's no guarantee doing a patron co-op stream that anyone's going to care. I used to do that kind of stuff, and quite frankly, people would tell me it's boring. Do something else. You know, I understand that maybe it would make me okay, let's say I did it, and I got 4 people a month to pledge $10 a month to freaking do it, but that's a whole stream now, right? That's a whole freaking stream away from everything else that I'm doing. So would you have to understand that your suggestions, there's always multiple factors to consider. I think I need, instead of focusing on, can I make a few more patron dollars, focus on how can I make the streams better overall and bring more people to the streams and have people be more supportive during the streams so that I don't have to worry about the patron dollars anymore. See what I mean? Vote Democrat Charity says, do your parents want you to have kids? At one point they did. At this point, I don't think they care anymore. Just being honest. So, that Anonymous Charity says, what would be your next facial hair iteration? A plain standalone stash? I have no clue. I've had this for almost 10 years now, and I've quite enjoyed it. I have no idea how I'll variate next, if I will. Magic Player tipped me another $1. Says, please do what you do. Please, Phil, what do you think of Donkey Kong's fur sleeves? I don't even know what's going on anymore. But that's $1 tip, so I don't know what's happening. Shout out to K3W2N who subscribed for 4 months and asked, has I ever skateboarded? No, never. Never skateboarded once. Never owned a skateboard. DJ Runo cheered. He said, at the start, I mentioned a combo of chill streams and Ask the King. Do you do many chill streams? You wouldn't have many forum-picked questions to answer. Then you can continue interacting with chat. So what you're saying, DJ Runo, is do a chill stream for the first hour. I do forum questions or whatever, then open it up to the chat. I get that, but at the same time, my streams really, I think, have to be about the stream viewers. That's who on earth would watch one of my streams and contribute if they knew the first hour was me going to be reading questions off the forums that have nothing to do with them. You know what I mean? I don't know. What's your favorite thing about being a full-time streamer, says Cody Carls? Controlling my own destiny, being my own boss, interaction. Number one, the fact that I can play whatever I want, whenever I want. Number two, the fact that I don't answer to anyone as long as I'm not violating terms of service of a website. I can basically do whatever I want. You can't tell me that I did something, not up to snuff or whatever. And the fact that I get to interact with a bunch of you awesome people every single day, and we have fun conversations and everything during games. I get to share those experiences with you. That's a really awesome thing. Very different from when I did the offline videos on YouTube. There were positives to those as well, but I love the interactive streaming much better than just doing videos for YouTube. Break the Glass. Did 100-bit cheer. He says, GTA 5 roleplay is the biggest thing on Twitch now. Have you ever thought about trying it? No. The Quiet Man donated $2.27 and says, why you no play me? The Quiet Man really wants me to play to the point where it's now become a game with its own consciousness, tipping me during streams and asking me to play it. There you go. There you go. Eternal Hip Hop says, quick question. Do you prefer the katana or the Roman gladius? I've never held either, so I couldn't answer that. Do I play any games off stream or in my own time? Ask Code Castiel. Very rarely these days. Very rarely. There was a time when I did used to play stuff off stream, and I actually used to play like tons of mobile games. I've even cut down on all of that because most of the mobile games at this point have become pay to play. So I very much don't do gaming that much off stream. Most of the time it's just me hanging out and with Kat and watching some television or something. The little time that we get together, that's what I do. Oh my god, Magic Player tipped me another $1 and says, in the Donkey Kong promo art, he's got fur on his arms, but it looks like he's got sleeves. Kind of weird. I have no idea what you're talking about. None. Zero. What is going on here? Thank you for the $1 tip, but I don't know how this is pertinent to anything. The Anonymous cheered and said, will we have a WWE 2K20 playthrough later this year? I don't know. I'll be honest, every year I play this game, and every year it's disappointing. Last year was no different. I did play the campaign mode from start to finish last year, but it wasn't amazingly good. It was just, I'd say, passable. It wasn't awful like usual, but it was just kind of passable. So I don't know. If people want to see it and someone donates it or something, maybe, but I don't know if I'm going to drop money on it. Coral Guy says, fun fact about me, I used to work at Mystic Aquarium. Are you going there on your way back to Connecticut? No, I'm just staying back in the areas, near my parents. Where my parents live, which is southwestern Connecticut. Mystic is nowhere near there, so I would not be doing that. A reflecting God just cheered and said, you just killed undying youth, and what about mankind? I think that's a quote from something, but I don't know what. Okay. And no, DJ Bruno, you cannot sleep on my couch. Why can't I do a cooking with the king with healthy meals? 2 reasons. Number one, because usually I don't cook them. Usually it's Kat. Like today, Kat is going to make us a delicious baked chicken with a breading that's crispy and tender, and she actually seasons it with lemon pepper and stuff like that, and like a veggie on the side or whatever. I don't do that. The thing, I'll tell you right now, I'll be very honest with everyone. Here's what I really can cook. Any kind of a burger, whether it's beef, chicken, turkey, I can fry a good burger, okay? I can do chicken fajitas or steak fajitas as long as I get the pre-made ingredients, and I just do stir fry. I can do an Asian stir fry, same thing. Get the ingredients, do the stir fry. And I can make pasta sauce, and I can make pasta. That's it. That's all I can make. The only thing is make a sandwich. So what exactly do you expect me to make in Cooking with the King? I don't have a repertoire of meals I can make. Kat is the one who makes us our meals most of the time. So I don't know what crazy shit you guys think is going to come out of the sky that I can make for Cooking with the King and why you guys keep asking for it. It's insane. Like, what are you talking about? Vote Democrat. Charity says, I got a tuna sub and mozzarella sticks. I put the mozzarella sticks on the sandwich. What are your thoughts? I like tuna with American cheese. I used to get, when I was a kid, my mom, this is still her favorite to this day. You go to Subway and you get a 2-foot-long tuna sub on fresh white bread with the tuna, American cheese, lettuce, tomato, and pickles. And maybe a few, salt and pepper or whatever. So I used to get that all the time when I was a kid. So I'm used to like American cheese with tuna salad actually is good to me. I've never tried it with mozzarella. I would have no idea if that's any good. Dude Frozen cheer. Thank you, Dude Frozen, for the cheer. Would I ever bring back my beanie on the stream? Well, here's the problem with that. I do still have this guy. All right. I do still have my Punisher beanie. All right. Oh my God, he's taking the hat off during Ask the King. I know, this is like taboo for me to do this. So, I could still wear the Punisher beanie if I wanted to. It's a nice beanie. I like it, right? I like the Punisher beanie. I think the other side's actually Daredevil. It is. Oh my God. I never even used this other side. Did you guys ever see this side? Look at this. A Daredevil beanie. It's bright red though, so I don't know how well this would look on a stream, right? But usually I don't wear it because, as you know, I don't do the vlogging and stuff anymore. I used to do vlogging where it would be talking to the camera at length, like the weekend preview, that kind of stuff. But I don't do those videos anymore, so I don't have opportunity to wear the beanies anymore. The other beanie, the Bullet Bill beanie from Super Mario World, I lost it. I used to wear it out, and it was actually one of Kat's visits before she moved in with me last year. We were at the local mall, and I had it. I was wearing it, and I put it in my pocket in my jeans. And then when I went to put it on, it was gone. It must have fallen out of my pocket when I was at the mall, and I never bought a replacement. So that Bullet Bill beanie that was like synonymous with a lot of videos and things that I did over the years, it's gone. I lost it about a year and a half ago. So there you go. But yeah, I do have a few others too. I know I have a few other beanies around still, but when am I going to wear? I can't wear this. Like, watch this. So, okay, here's a nice beanie. Put it on my head. It's good, right? The Punisher beanie looks good. All right, now, how am I going to do this? I just blocked my headphone. I can't even hear, like, I can't, I blocked the sound. I muffled my own headphones by putting a beanie on my head. So I can't wear a beanie and put on headphones at the same time. So when I'm playing games, I can't wear a beanie at all. The other thing is, it's always hot in my office. So wearing a beanie in this office, I'd be sweating profusely if I was playing games. So, that's why I don't wear a beanie anymore, Primarily, it was for when I was doing videos that I wasn't playing a game with headphones on. I was talking to the camera, but I don't make those videos anymore, right? There's no more channel updates, no more weekly preview, etc. Play cool. Tip me $1. He says, DSP, recently I got the Elder Scrolls Online base plus Morrowind plus Somerset Isles for £21. I don't know if that's pounds or euros. He says, just for the sole reason of exploring the other areas of the Elder Scrolls series, would you consider getting the game maybe for a chill stream, or do you think trolls would fuck it up? I'm seriously, dude, I have no interest in MMOs. I'm just being honest. I don't really care about them. I know that they are open to trolling and stuff. And so for me, it's not a big deal, and I'm not really interested in it. Okay? DJ Runo Cheerdy says, would you do a poorly cooking with the king where you cook a random recipe online and try doing whatever you pick? Afterwards, you have to eat it. Unless it's a health hazard, of course. You never know. DJ Runo. So, I gotta ask a question. I'm just gonna throw this out there, alright? I'm just gonna, for the sake of it. I stream from 10:15 a.m., so, an hour after I wake up in the morning, until 4 p.m. Then I upload videos. Then I eat dinner, clean up after dinner. I'm right back to stream. And I usually stream till around 9:30, 10 p.m. Then I'm uploading videos, doing social media. So essentially, every day that I'm doing streaming, I'm working from 10 to 10. Okay? When am I going to make this video? Am I going to cook a meal at 11 at night that I might not like? You know what I mean? How is this going to happen? Exactly. Just, I mean, seriously. Give me the explanation. What you're actually asking me, okay, is okay, we want to see you do a cooking video, but don't stream instead. So don't stream and actually make money to pay my bills. Instead, make a random cooking video that may or may not be good, a meal that I probably don't care about and don't want to eat. Why the fuck do you want to see me do a cooking video? Like, you're driving me nuts. Oh my God. Seriously, like, what is the big deal about this? What is the big deal about this? I am here streaming my ass constantly to do stuff for you guys. Why is that not enough? Why now do you need cooking videos? The era of me doing one-off weird-ass videos is over. I am a live streamer on Twitch. Stop this. Stop this madness. It's what it is. It's madness at this point. Oh my God. Magic Player tipped me $1. Says, sorry for confusing Donkey Kong first leave talk. All right, enough. Your boy Lem tipped me $1. Says, are we bros or nah? Sure we are. Battle Duck tipped $1.73 and says, pour the cookie with the king, botched boiled egg. Let's make that happen. Vote Democrat cheered and says, your fans want cooking vids. And Dude Frozen cheered says, if variety streaming wasn't a thing and you had to stick to a genre of games, what genre would you think you would stick to? Honestly, I don't know. I don't know if I could pick one genre, because fighting games, RPGs, from software style games, you know what I mean? Like, I could probably think of a ton of games that are really good and I would enjoy playing at length, but I don't necessarily know that one is the definitive one that I would want to do. That's a really tough question that I don't think I can actually answer. That would be something that I would have to seriously put a lot of time and effort and research into. And realistically, what could I do as one genre and make it work forever? I don't know if I could. I really don't. Okay. All right, anything else, guys? Because now we're at over 2 hours for the show. Quite frankly, I don't think there's much else to talk about. Unless you guys have a couple more questions, I'd be willing to listen and answer them, okay? What would be my dream job if I weren't a content creator? I would still want to own my own business of some sort. I don't know what it would be. I've dabbled with the idea of doing a restaurant or something, but I would definitely want to be some kind of a small business owner. Dude Frozen cheers. What's the most overrated game of all time? Destiny. Definitely Destiny. Yeah, guys, people are saying I thought you couldn't cook. I didn't say I was going to cook in the restaurant. I said I would own and operate the restaurant. I didn't say I would cook in the restaurant. Oh, that Anonymous cheers. What's the most underrated game of all time? The most underrated game of all time. A game that no one really likes, but I like? That's a tough question. That's a very tough question. I don't know. I can't even think of one. Have I done any drugs? I've explained many times the only drug I've ever done is smoked weed. That's it. Bilbo, thank you for the $1 tip, but medical things are off limits, and I'm certainly not going to talk about them publicly on a stream. He's asking me about going to the doctors and shit. I'm not talking about that. It's none of anyone's fucking business. So, no. All right. So unless any more last-minute things come through, this might be it for the stream. Okay. Psst. Now vote Democrat cheer. This is political stuff that I'm not going to say. Oh, my God. Santiago-san, I don't ignore people who don't attach money to their messages, but I purposely ignore idiots like you who like to say I do, and then I ban them. Like this. It's a lot of fun to lean forward and do that lean-in ban on assholes like you. Frog's playing golf says I should do more streams like this. Then he goes on to talk about another streamer that I don't care about. The thing is, every day I do this. Every day I do a pre-stream. Every single day I do a pre-stream. And I frequently do multiple chill streams a week. If you like this interaction, attend one of those streams and come hang out with me. That's why I do them. Right. Every day is Ask the King. Literally every day is Ask the King now. It used to be you couldn't ask me anything during a playthrough because it was offline recording and I only talked about the game. Every day is Ask the King. That's the difference now. So, Battleduck 9000 to be $2. Hey, one last question. Can I ask a question? No. No, you can't. Thank you, Battleduck, for the tip. I appreciate that. I know he's just joking. All right, so ladies and gentlemen. Oh, we got one final cheer from Dude Frozen. He says, I know you're a fan of horror movies. What's your favorite horror movie of all time? Don't really have one. I like the slasher movies from the 80s, like Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th. I also like some of the more psychological horror movies, but also the Japanese horror movies, like The Ring, so I don't really have one. And Han Celebratory cheered. He says, Cowboy hat has a good look for you. Do you ever wear it out? No, I never wear this out of the house. Only for Ask the King. All right, guys, so. Oh, by the way, Mr. Papavera just cheered and says, I love the pre-streams, actually. I know a lot of people do. A lot of people like the pre-streams because it's that daily dose of what's going on with me, my schedule update, me talking with you. It's a good segment of every show. That's why I upload them to YouTube every day. Okay? So that is it, guys, for Ask the King, episode 75. The bottom line is, at this point, I realistically don't know if the show needs to exist anymore. I've already put up on my forums on thekingofhate.com a thread for the next show, which will take place on May 30th, 2019. Let's see what happens. If I get a bunch of good questions, if the show ends up being good and everything in 2 months, maybe I'll keep doing the show. But if not, maybe I'll think about stretching out the show, so maybe it only happens every 3 to 4 months, or maybe even canceling it altogether. Let's see what happens. But when every day is Ask the King, I can understand why there's not a lot going on this show. Okay? Play Cool just tipped me another $1 and says, I have a question for almost 9 years. In 2010, you played God of War 3. You seem to like it a lot. Never included your top 20 best games of 2010. Did you forget or you didn't like it that much? Obviously, if I didn't include it, I didn't like it as much as the other top 10 games. It's that simple. And Frog's playing golf cheered. He says, shout out to the Chopper Man. Whatever that means. Okay, guys. Thank you very much, everyone, for everything. I appreciate it. That's it for Ask the King episode 75. Whether you watched on stream or on YouTube, I appreciate your viewership, and I'll see you next time in May, and we'll see what happens, all right? Be sure to post up questions. The more the merrier, and the better the show becomes, because this was not enough questions for a show, and we'll go from there. All right, everyone, thank you. Have a good night, and I'll see you later.